Hi all, welcome back to Make More Bonsai. Today we're going to completely change this Shimpaku bonsai with one single pruning move that will immediately set this tree on the path to being a better and more well-designed bonsai. There's so much going on with this tree, it's going to take a few videos to fully dig in and cover everything that is going on within this one bonsai. It's really a tale of two different trees grown from cuttings in the early 2000s. Two trees out of a few hundred that were grown that year. Each one was developed over time to eventually become bonsai. One was a Kishu Shimpaku or Juniperus chinensis Kishu, and one was a San Jose juniper, Juniperus chinensis San Jose. Shimpaku are valued most of all for the mature foliage texture, and San Jose are mostly valued for their relatively fast growth and a trunk that thickens quickly. But the foliage of the San Jose is more open and pointy in its juvenile state, although it does over time mature into a finer, scaly look, but it's not always consistent. After some time in training, the San Jose had fattened up well and had some attractive trunk characteristics, but the foliage was not working for me. San Jose junipers are kind of amazing in that they move far more resources around faster and subsequently grow long branches quickly, which is why the trunks fatten much faster than other junipers compared to Shimpaku, which do not develop as fast and generally move resources much slower. I decided to in-arch graft a Shimpaku to the San Jose. This marries the qualities of the attractive foliage the Shimpaku creates with the fast-moving advantages of the San Jose. We'll talk about the graft in a follow-up video. For now, we're going to transform this bonsai with one single quick trim. The initial styling of this tree was done last year. This was to create some framework and structure for the trunk. This was successful and unsuccessful at the same time. The grafted section was brought over and through the gin of the removed San Jose branches and down to create a new apex. The hope was the section at the new top would begin creating its own apical dominance and take over as the top of the tree. That didn't happen. The tip of the Shimpaku is too strong and it remains on the now left-facing branch and continues to elongate. We now need to redirect the energy of this juniper to develop the right side into a more refined design. How is energy directed in a tree? How do I gain control so I can redirect growth where I want it? Energy in the form of a hormone called auxin is concentrated at the end of a growing shoot called the apical bud, along with another hormone called cytokinin which promotes cell division. That apical bud is a sugar hog because auxin demands all of the energy to grow in the direction of the apical bud. This is called apical dominance. That auxin also circulates through the tree, suppressing the growth of any of the lateral buds with other hormones called strigolactones, which help regulate development and nutrient availability. Remove that apical bud, and the suppressing agent is halted. Cytokinin takes over and stimulates the lateral buds to start growing, and sugars are redirected to them since the auxin in the apical bud is no longer there. Soon, apical dominance is regained, often at the end of a branch that gets the most light. In other words, without all the biology homework, the end of the branch contains a chemical message that says, "Go this way," so all of the energy is sent to that place. Any other buds are suppressed and don't grow as fast. Remove that end of the branch and that suppression is removed, so the buds behind that end of the branch start to grow. Now we know the how, let's talk about the why. Let's examine that branch on the left. It's sweeping downward from an elevated place and is creating a level bottom to the asymmetrical triangle created by the foliage. It is also disproportionately thick, which is interrupting the dynamics within the tree, making it look not as tall as maybe it should be. This is because this branch is the remnant of that original apical bud before it was wired down. It's so strong it has remained the apical bud with all of the energy heading to it, making it heavier than the other branches. I'm planning to bring this tree back into a more appealing proportion and at the same time redirect the energy back into the rest of the tree to develop a new apical bud where it will benefit the design, all by removing one single branch. It is still early spring, so things are slowly waking up at this time. Now keep in mind, in general it's best to wait until summer to do any trimming on a juniper. Juniper get the most energy and strength from their foliage. It's best to let it grow and allow the tree to gain strength before trimming and styling. In this case, for this session, I will only be removing about 1/5 of the foliage. And that foliage is actually preventing the design from progressing because it has the sugar hog that prevents the rest of the tree from developing further. So, with one quick adjustment, this bonsai is already improved. The tension and release within the design is established by shortening the bottom plane of the asymmetrical triangle. Now proportion is re-established within the branch widths, and most of all, the apex and the other branches now have cytokinin released to push more growth onto the desired branches because we removed the concentration of auxin that was in the branch we removed. If you like what we're doing over here, go on over to Amazon and check out our book, Bonsai Progress. It's a wonderful little tracker, fits in your pocket or your toolbox. You can keep track of up to 27 different trees, 70 lines with dates. It makes for a great gift, probably the least expensive thing you'll find in the world of bonsai. So go on over there and check it out. And also, if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe. Now back to the fun. Next, I'm going to review the rest of the tree to see if we can make any more adjustments to help direct the energy where it will serve this design best. Taking off any weak, underdeveloped growth that isn't really contributing to the design or the health of the tree is one thing to look for and remove. Also, removing any growth from the bottom of the branches is a good idea since those receive the least light. One thing that does help is removing the buds that have sprung up at the base of branches. If I don't think they're going to be needed or will contribute to the design, they get removed, allowing light and air to get in and help further develop the desired growth. I'm also looking for anything that is in groups of 3 and removing 1 to direct that growth to improve the ramification of all of the other branches. I mentioned earlier that junipers get their strength from foliage. What does that mean? Some trees can be defoliated or pruned way back to only a few leaves, and they respond by pushing new growth. They often have fast-moving metabolism supplied by energy stored in trunks or roots. Their roots tend to be thicker or coarse and are able to store water and nutrients as well as exchange oxygen and water within the soil. Junipers, however, react very differently when too much foliage is removed. They take a long time to recover or potentially get weaker until more foliage is able to grow. Most junipers also have a very fine root system, designed to quickly absorb water and nutrients but not really store anything. Often the roots on junipers will develop to take advantage of the rainy season, only to wither away and recede closer to a thicker root or a taproot when they are no longer being used. They get most of their strength and energy from photosynthesis happening within the foliage and stored there, constantly pushing out new growth. Even during dormant periods, junipers are still pushing out new growth. It's best to allow the juniper to gain some foliage mass over spring, then later in the summer begin to style and remove unwanted growth. Then let it gain mass again over the rest of the year. This is a light touch-up this time. Later this year, like in August, we can return to this tree and see how it's coming along. If the energy redirection was successful, some of these branches will have elongated quite a bit. At that time, we can wire this out and remove anything that isn't beneficial to the design. Our immediate priority is really a broad energy redirect to get strong foliage on the branches that will be kept. For now, we'll just let this bonsai grow out. We'll apply fertilizer regularly and dream about what fun we'll have in August styling all of the new growth. Be on the lookout for that session, and also the videos discussing the grafting process and how that shari is being developed, as well as addressing the right side of the base of the tree to try to make it a little wider. This little tree just keeps on giving and giving. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing here, please don't forget to like and comment because I love to hear from you, and subscribe.